Hello everybody, this is Crimson Kirito again, and welcome back to the Crimson Kirito Let's Play Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. Today we left off, things gone out of turn with Phoenix Wright just was about to be non-guilty until he blurted out.
Oh no!
Alright, so without further ado, let's continue where we left off. That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of that. I must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you would know the answer to that.
What do you mean?
Being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I have no time for mysteries. I only ask that you leave the defending to your defense in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Kristoff. Justice?
Yes, sir?
The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. Oh boy, you did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you're wearing, is that really yours, Mr. Wright? You were wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. That's a picture of my daughter in there. Wait, he has a daughter? Wow, babe. You missed it. I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. Mr. Wright had a daughter, no less. And I thought Phoenix had a thing for Maya, but holy crap! Most people are, perhaps. You'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? Phoenix? Did you cheat? What do you think?
Huh?
You know what happened 7 years ago, what I did. It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat.
I never! Honest!
Sorry, you guys. But it is odd that he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Wanna know something? There is only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. You see, poker is about reading your opponent. In that way, it's like a court case. Poker is like trial law. Figure out what your opponent is thinking and you win. Well, yeah, but that's hard than it sounds. I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding! That witness, for instance, Miss Orley, she would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice?
No.
Come on. Who'd notice that? Words, habits, twitches, it's all the information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. But I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I'll pick up on these signals. No, you can do it. You just don't know it yet. What the hell is he talking about? But you will soon. Almost forgot one more thing about this case. You should know, I haven't told the truth to anyone yet.
What? I knew it!
I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there defending me. I need your power. My, power? I have no idea. My cords of steel were that special. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best. Okay, this is gonna get out of hand. Alright, we're going to part 2 for Turnabout Trump. Okay, April 20th, 12:14 p.m. District Court Courtroom number 2. The court will now reconvene. Has our witness, Miss Olga Worley, recovered?
Yes, Your Honor. Well, she regained consciousness.
Perhaps we can hear her version of the events again.
That's the thing, you see. She's quite fatigued.
You're looking a bit fatigued yourself, Mr. Payne. Sadly, fatigue is an efficient grounds for refusing to testify or prosecute. The defense would like to request that Miss Orley take the stand. Very well. The witness will take the stand. Babe, I need your help with this thing. Perhaps you could repeat your name and profession. Or perhaps, would you rather admit that you're a poor liar and a poorer loser?
Not.
You gotta talk normally on this one.
Name's Olga. That's the truth. I'm pro dealer. People call me Olga Quickly Fingers Orly.
Oh, really?
Want to know something else? I'm not really Russian. My last name sounds like, oh, really? There, that's the truth. I hope you're satisfied.
Witness, will you testify to court what you were really up to that night?
Fine, I'll talk. We had a plan, see?
Let me remind you that you're certainly under oath. Currently under oath. Any further fabrications will have serious consequences. Judgment, and the judge will knock you with my beer.
Fine. Like I said, I'm a pro. That guy Smith hired me to do what I do best. I was planted at the Borshore Bowl Club several days prior to the night of the game as a waitress.
So you were in a cahoots with a victim?
Not that he needed my help. Smith is a well-known poker player in some circles. But winning wasn't the main purpose of this game. It was about destroying a League of Legends, the unbeatable Phoenix Wright! The plan was simple, elegant really. You see, we set up a trap of sorts. I was able to plant a card in Wright's pocket beforehand, and then deal 5 aces during one of their games. When their hands were revealed, Smith would call him out and search Wright. He would then pull out the planted card and the trap would snap shut. You swipe the card. Expose it as a cheater, and losing on top of it would have made a great double play. Just like that, the legend would be dashed to pieces.
Indeed. Getting caught red-handed at cheating would cast double on his prior wins.
A 7-year-old legend destroyed by one little card. That was the plan.
Oh really, Orly? How droll. But it appears you made quite the mistake.
A mistake?
I agree, the trap was elegant. Yet, what happened to the planet cod? Hey, that's right!
He's lucky I gave him that. You have to be slip-free from a trap laid by Ogie Quicker Fingers Orly.
Oh, really?
I can't, I'm sorry. The way that just said it!
The witness would be much cuter if she just dissipated with the evil mastermind, Slolix.
Hey, don't mess with the beard.
Cuter? Who wants to be cute? I'm not cute, I'm bad. You hear me? Bad!
Sure you are, you bugger. When you're through being bad, perhaps you could testify to the court. Tell us what this trap and how it was purring.
Sprung.
Witness testimony. The best laid trap.
That night, I planted the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost the last hand like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the planted card was gone. The trap failed. The next moment, Wright picked up a bottle and swung it. It wasn't me who hit Smith. It was that no-good cheating defendant.
You know what I noticed something?
What?
She'd scratch her back of her head.
That could mean a number of things, babe.
A surprisingly frank testimony that still leaves us mostly in the dark.
The trap was perfect. I tell you, perfect. If that rotten cheater hadn't messed it up.
Look who's talking.
Well, the testimony for what it's worth, it's all yours, Mr. Justice.
With a witness like her, who needs criminals? And with a defendant like Mr. Wright, who needs prosecutors?
Okay. Let me try to press when she was scratching her head. Wait, wasn't that a little odd?
What's odd?
You searched Mr. Wright thoroughly and found nothing. Which means he didn't cheat. Which means he had no reason to strike the victim.
Well...
Dun dun! What was that just now? I sensed something.
Something wrong, Mr. Justice?
No, nothing, Your Honor. What to do? Should I press a little harder? Might as well. Miss Orly, you're hiding something.
What are you talking about? Me? Big Finger Orly hide something?
Objection! The defense will refrain the baseless accusation! I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment the defendant hit the victim. Is this true?
Oh, of course it's true. I did see it, honestly. I saw it when Mr. Wright hit him.
Uh-oh.
With my own eyes, I saw it.
What's weird vibe I'm getting? Am I getting high? That witness, for instance, Miss Orly, she would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? Touching her neck, was it? Wait a minute. I'm using my chaotic power. Whoa, what's going on? The sensation, it's coming into focus. Damn, that twitching is so clear. It's like I could preserve her habits like I couldn't before. Gotcha! Gotcha! Miss Orly, perhaps you are unaware of this yourself.
Unaware of what?
Whenever you get to the certain part of your testimony, you touch at the back of your neck that was your left hand.
My neck? So what?
What indeed, Justice? I hadn't noticed anything of the sort. When she says that part of the testimony, she's subconsciously recalling something. Her body reacts to the memory and she touched her neck. I'm sure of it. A memory? Would someone care to explain what he was babbling about?
This is highly unusual, but let's ask the defense. You claim that the witness is remembering something. Maybe you have the evidence of a memory of sorts.
Her habit of scratching her neck whenever she talks about the moment of the crime. So what would remind her the most of the crime? Miss Orley, whenever you recall the crime that night, you were searching your neck.
I've noticed it happens when you think about the moment of the crime. There must be the reason behind this habit of yours. I believe the weapon that was left. I guess we have to present the bottle. So, take that! Whenever she's talking about whenever the crime scene, she touched her neck, and what reminds us more of a moment than this bottle, the murder weapon. But something doesn't fit. If you were the witness of the crime, why would you make you touch her neck like you're in pain? What is he talking about? It was Mr. Smith, the victim, who was hit, not you. Objection! This is a cross-examination, not a cross-wide conjecture. What? The witness's habits? They're completely irrelevant. Justice, I admit I am a bit confused myself. This is certainly a unique cross-examination. I'll explain later. Just trust me. Now our only chance is to break her. Miss Orley, please testify that in detail about the moment of the crime, in the very moment.
No, I am knowing nothing.
We know you're not Russian.
The witness will testify, please, now.
Bah, fine. He's the one who did it. I didn't let him out of my sight until the cops got there.
Okay. Okay, so... Wait, I want to check something first. Okay, so... You seem uneasy. Is basically bogus. It contradicts the evidence. What's that?
Well, Show us the evidence of misinjustice. The evidence that will claim that it contradicts the testimony.
She didn't let out of her sight that the cops got here. I know there's evidence that contradicts that. Oh, crap. All I know is that only Phoenix Wright has to go upstairs and make a call.
I'll try that.
Alright, what if I... Miss Orley, we have the records here that clearly contradicts what you said. It states that the police were alerted by the report from the defendant. And you know that the defendant left the room, climbed the stairs, and made a phone call from the first floor of the Pushkat Bowl Club. So, excuse me, pardon me. We gotta clear my throat for a sec. So, explain how you kept your eyes on the defendant when he left the room entirely. Got it. Oh, babe, you might want to read this.
The man who picked up a bottle and swung it that night wasn't the defendant.
Oh, we're going back this again.
Yes.
Showdown time. You're a dirty cheat. Checking his pockets now.
It's gone. The card's gone.
You lose.
Ah! Just then, Smith grabbed the bottle from next to Wright, and he hit him.
Or he hit me.
He hit me.
You semester devil, you are.
And exactly 2 toenails trimmed every day. I eventually asked her if she's the one.
When I came to,
she confessed to it. Then she opened up one of her drawers and showed me her collection.
The victim was already dead, is that it?
that's why I couldn't reveal who I really was. If it came out that I was in legions with Smith, I'd be a suspect for sure.
I packed up my stuff and walked out. The rest of the week I stayed.
Well, where does this leave us?
Madness! This is madness! I'm dreaming!
But I can't be friends with someone who collects my DNA for spells.
This is Sparta!
No!
I had to pull the joke. It must be me who was hit with the bottle, and I imagined all of this.
It appears our prosecution is at his wit's end, and frankly, I can't blame him for being a pain in the ass. Mr. Gavin, what would you think about this turn of events?
Mr. Gavin, sir, I believe that as a defense in this case, we are compelled to call Miss Orley a big, fat, lying bitch.
What?
3 were in the room of the night of the murder: the defendant, victim, and her. And she has a motive. A motive? Her plot foiled. The witness got into an argument with her client, Mr. Smith. And I think the annoyment
I have no idea.
of that argument was murder.
What? I'm no killer. It's a trap. Someone trying to frame me.
Drinks, fun stories. Then when my ex went
What tangled webs we have weaved when we practice to deceive. So tangled, we catch ourselves in a process.
Mr. Wright?
Such a hasty conclusion. It's not like you, Christoph Gavin. What are you saying? Why not consider then another possibility? That there were another person in the room at the time of the murder. He can't be serious.
Right, like Mr. Wright was saying before recess.
A single card was swapped into the victim's hand after the murder. And one who swapped the card didn't know two cards of a cards were being used. The fourth person.
Objection! Ha! This theory again? Your fourth person doesn't exist!
Indeed. That's why I decided to bring this case to court. Here, where there's no escape and no chance for deception. The perfect place to catch the real criminal.
The real criminal?
And we're in luck. A clue is a real criminal's identity was clearly provided for us. And right for the beginning of the trial, no less.
Huh?
Nani? What?
Apollo, perhaps you know what I'm talking about. Sorry. Remember what I said? The fourth person who swapped the cards made one critical error. He or she would have considered the color on the backs of the cards. Right, but how could such an obvious mistake occur? The cards used for the last game were red, yet there was one person here in our court who thought the cards were blue. Yeah, I heard that impression too. But why? Well, Apollo, think you can figure it out who it was?
It's not me, I swear!
Who is this fourth person?
Why do I always get put on the spot like this? Let's hear the defense had to say. Who was it? Who thought the cards game was blue? Babe, I think we already know the first person we know.
Olga?
No. Him.
What?
Let's try it. Take that! As I expected. Your eyes and ears are sharp as your hair. I was right? Christoph Gavin, you were the first person that night.
You were the fourth person that night.
But of course Mr. Gavin knows the color of the cards.
How would he? As you can see, the photo of the crime scene is black and white. You can't tell which of the cards are blue once the floor or the table.
But look! You can see the colors in the photos.
Yes, but when he said the cards were blue, it was well before the evidence came to light. It is true that the defendant wasn't engaged in a game of poker with the victim. Yet it was only that, again, the pure sense of a competition round.
A competition?
Yes, a test of wits. A silent clash of passion. Only two cards. There are backs wrapped in blue. Know the final outcome. See?
No!
Only he knows.
No! Oh!
Well, Christoph?
Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Gavin, is something the matter?
No, nothing. Excuse me. It was just so sudden. Right, you weren't seriously accusing me, are you? Oh, Christoph. You know, even I'd never take a joke this far.
Objection! This has gone beyond ridiculous, beyond dumb! This is insanity! The defense accusing his own defense attorney of murder?
I assure you, I'm quite sane.
Damn it!
But what possible connections could Mr. Gavin have the victim?
I wasn't aware of that I had a connection to Mr. Smith either.
Yes, but Mr. Gavin and the victim have never even met!
Whoa, sorry.
Well, what if they have?
Huh?
There is possibility after all. They may have met that night before the game started.
What are you suggesting?
Is this the truth Mr. Wright was staying silent about? Well, only one thing to do. Mr. Wright, The defense would like to request that you testify. Objection. The defense would like to request no such thing. Mr. Gavin? Likely relate to the case. How could anything happen before the killing of Poker is related? Dude, it relates to everything.
I'm not sure I follow, Mr. Gavin.
As I suspected before, the defense believes that Miss Orley.
Am I to assume that you speak for Mr. Justice in this? He is the defense. He is the defense, not you.
Yeah, you just don't goof, Kristoff.
Mr. Justice, the matter of Mr. Wright's testimony is up to you.
Okay.
Does the court, in your opinion, needs to hear?
Yes. This was Mr. Wright. I need to see it through. The defense would like to request that Mr. Wright testify to the court. I prove that you would betray your teacher. I'm sorry, Mr. Gavin. This isn't about loyalty. This is about the truth.
Very well. The defendant, Mr. Wright, will take the stand, please.
Okay, the witness testimony. Appetite before murder. That night, Kristoff and I had dinner. We sat at the table in the photograph.
But that isn't Kristoff.
I mean, he was sitting on the table before Mr. Smith came in. Scotty Smith walked in 5 minutes after Kristoff left.
Oh, that makes sense.
When the trap failed, Smith hit the waitress. The girl was knocked out cold, and Smith was uncontrollable. I left the call to the police. When I returned, he was dead, blood streamed from the cut on his forehead. That's when I made another phone call to the defendant attorney, Gavin.
Mr. Gavin? You were at the Bullshit Boat Club the night before the murder?
I dine with him rather frequently. And he has talked to the defendant on the phone directly after the murder? Quite against my will, I had become involved in the murder. I thought I might be in need of a lawyer, so I called him. So, you were planning this all along, were you, right? Just because you wanted to drag me into your little murder trial. The only thing I want is the truth. And I did it back then and now. I thought my office was doing you a favor when we took your defense. It appears that I was wrong.
Very well. The defense may cross-examine the witness.
Justice. Sir? He's lying. You're going to expose him.
Understood, sir.
Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright? This can't end well. Why can't I have a normal trial?
You and me both, Apollo.
Okay. I think it's time we press a little bit before we find the evidence. Look at this photograph. His head was over. Hold on, let's take a look first. If I made a mistake twice. Okay, let's try. Here, Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes. Take a look at this photograph of the crime scene. See the victim here? He was wearing a hat. I would think that you could see the blood on his forehead. Huh. Good point. Justice, next time you point out in misery, put a little oomph into it. Come on!
Bro, shut the frick up.
Mr. Wright, can you explain this to the court?
I forgot to mention something. I was the one to put the hat on his head.
You? You put his hat on the dead man's head?
He wore it through our entire poker game. After calling the police, when I returned to the crime scene, his head was a full view, shining bright, just like in this photograph.
And
I picked his head up off the floor and put it on his head. Why would you do such a thing like that? All I can say is I'm sorry, but that's the only thing I touched at the crime scene. So Miss Orley didn't see it? It being the victim's his head? I think not. She was out cold. I believe I was the only one who witnessed his head. Here we go again. Mr. Gavin? Pardon. It just seems that our client is determined. Fuck.
Sorry.
It's alright, babe. It's alright. Don't worry about it. Sorry you had to hear this, everyone. We still love each other, so don't judge us. Hey, he's still our client, isn't he?
in any case, please continue to cross-examination. I'm afraid decisive contradictions call for a decisive evidence.
Oh, push him harder, Justice. Break him. It's just you and the witness in the ring. Go for the KO. Ugh. Why do I get the feeling we're not on our client's side anymore? Okay, Okay, so... What's this failed trap? Is this the same trap that Orly mentioned? Okay, yada yada yada. Yes, a harmless prank in essence. It was by a quirk of fate that I happened to discover. A quirk? I happened to put it in my hand. In my pocket I found a card. The card she planted? Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it. It was a 5 of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game.
Dispose? Where?
There was an empty bottle of grape juice I'd been drinking right beside me. I threw the bottle inside the car. What? The empty bottle of grape juice? The murder weapon? Yes, I rolled up and shoved it in. The color glass makes it hard to see.
The bottle of a witch be decisive would be deceived. It sounds like a terrific drama.
The card inside the... That's strange. Did the police miss their investigation? Maybe I'll take a look.
Mr. Wright, the poke.
I did discover the trap and I disposed of the card in the bottle. We did check, so... Oh, crap. I think we have to check. Crap. Alright, let's check it. Yup. The ball's completely empty. Objection! Mr. Wright, if I may. Yes? I examined the bottle and I don't see any card in there. No?
What? Mr. Wright? Surely. Isn't all you have to say for yourself?
I can say that I know what happened to the card. I did put it in that bottle, however. Huh? Perhaps the fifth person came and took it out. Or a sixth person could have helped.
Mr. Gavin, Mr. Wright is your client.
My apologies, Your Honor. I would have during our investigation either. We looked inside the boat, there was nothing. So what's going on? Is Mr. Wright hoodwinked us again? Or did the card just disappear? I believe that's enough of that. Mr. Gavin? The witness testimony is more like a travesty. It's riddles with lies. I'm beginning to see how you came to lose your attorney's badge 7 years ago. Oh, there was a time when Phoenix Wright loses his badge 7 years ago. Well, you're certainly having unique ways to treat your clients, Kristoff. I never knew. I believe it was you who threw the first stone. Mr. Wright, if you intend to ever tell the truth about this case, it's now or never. Don't be misled. I haven't told a single lie here. When I notice a trap, I put a card in a bottle to dispose of it. And when I put the hat on the victim's head, let's just say I had a reason for doing that as well.
A reason?
That reason is right here. Your cell phone? That night, recall that I spoke with defense attorney Gavin after calling the police. Just in case, I recorded our conversation. What's this? And now that we're all here, I see no reason why I don't play it back to the court. Kristoff, I seem to be in trouble. What's this? Game not going well. Something like that. That gentleman who challenged you, he turned out to be good? He turned out to be dead. Someone hit him. Hard. You mean someone cracked a flawless bone china plate? It wasn't you, was it? Me? Please. The cops should be here any minute. I mean your hands. Should it come to that. Bone china plate? That kind of porcelain, very smooth and shiny, and not plate, but paint. But I believe he was referring to a certain gentleman's balding forehead.
The court appreciates the defendant's certain in not indicating my forehead.
Wait a second. Something's not right about that phone call. So, after Mr. Gavin ate dinner with you, he left the Bushcott Bowl Club? Most certainly. Then how did he know? When did he see this bone china plate?
Oh, that ring.
Yes. That's when I began to see my good friend in a different light. Trouble? I returned to the crime scene. When I spun Mr. Smith's head again, I realized exactly what was wrong. Well, Mr. Gavin, the stage has been set. Perhaps would you like to explain this to the court? Exactly how did you come by your privileged knowledge of the victim's head? So, this is your reason? The reason why you put the victim's hat back on? Your point, Mr. Gavin? It comes down to this. Has it, Phoenix Wright?
Ooh, hoo, hoo. Order! I will have order, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor?
I believe this court have been left with no other choice. After you were preparing to hear the defense attorney Gavin's testimony.
Well, as the prosecutor,
Very well. We'll break for 10 minutes. After which, Mr. Gavin will take a stand for a cross-examination. Are we all clear on that?
Crystal clear, Your Honor.
Very well. This will be the final recess of the day.
Oh, boy. This has gone madness.
Madness?
Okay, April 20th, 2:32 p.m., District Court Defense Lobby.
Nobody ate lunch from 11 to 2 in the afternoon.
Babe, this is Japan.
Oh.
Their time zone is different.
Proceed.
Mr. Gavin and Mr. Wright are both in the judge's chambers. Who'd have thought today will turn out like this? May I? Whoa, hello. Huh? What?
Hello, sir. Please pick a card.
Well, what is this all about? Is this one okay?
Excellent. I have a message for you. The last hand is about to be played. You need a trump card to make it.
The trump card?
The card you have chosen is magical. Use it wisely and the game is yours. That's all.
An ace? Where did I remember that card from?
Mr. Smith had the 3 aces and Mr. Wright too. It is 5 aces in all. It is true. I have seen it, the 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you.
The missing 5th ace. Wait. This blotch of red. Is this blood?
You have your trump card. Now it's up to you to cut the deck and draw the truth. My father's fate is in your hands, and I know you can do it.
This bloodstained card is my trump card for finding the truth? I fell deep into thoughts as my mind raced to understanding what this all meant. That girl, I'd seen her before recently, but where? That's when I made a connection. Play ace card added to the card. Oh boy. Alright, we're back to the courtroom again.
The court will now reconvene. Defense Attorney Christoph Gavin, will you please take the stand? Now then, if you would, Mr. Payne.
Yes, Your Honor. The witness state his name and occupation. Is this farce necessary, Your Honor?
Believe me, far stranger things have come on this courtroom.
Fine, I'll play along.
First, there is one thing we need to have made clear. How do you know about the secret beneath the victim's hat?
By secret, I'm guessing he means the fact that Mr. Smith is bald? Forgive my curiosity, but what is about this fellow's head? Your Honor, you have some intents in it. Objection! Whoa! Mr. Wright! I wouldn't call it in oriented, Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Wright?
What do you think you're doing, Miss Wright? Wow, things sure look different from the other side. You know what I mean, Apollo? Speaking of looking from the other side, let's consider something for the second. The victim wore a hat all night, never once taking it off, except that one time. That one time? Being the instant he was hit?
Oh?
When Mr. Wright returned from the report to the crime, the hat was lying on the floor. Mr. Wright picked it up and placed it on the victim's head. In other words, in order to have seen Mr. Smith's bald head, you would have had to be at the scene of the crime, that time of the crime. In other words, you have to be a real killer. Is that what you're saying? Not bad, Apollo.
Mr. Gavin?
I'm afraid I haven't been entirely honest with the court.
What?
Oh, I assure you, I had the noblest of intentions. I did it all to protect my client, Mr. Wright. Yet, I'm afraid in the current situation, I see a little reason to hide everything. Very well. Allow me to tell you the truth of what happened that night.
Finally, you may begin your testimony. Tell us, how were you involved in the events of that fateful night?
Alright, now we're gonna deal with Kristoff's testimony. The fateful night. The rage I sensed in that man that night troubled me, so I returned to the club. I went down to the basement and peeked through the little window in the hideout. I must have been right after the murder took place. The victim was dead, as he appears in the photo. The bald head, an unconscious skull, and Wright holding a bottle in his hand. I sensed that there was not the best place for me to be at the crime, so I left. That's when the call came from Wright. So, you witnessed the murder? For better or worse, I missed the actual moment of the deed.
Mr. Gavin, may I remind you, you are on Mr. Wright's defense team? Your testimony is clearly disadvantaged to your client.
What else could I say? I'm standing on the witness's stand after all. So you are, Mr. Gavin. And you had a testimony as you just did. You had to tell them you saw the scene of a crime through that little window. Mr. Wright, you had to say that because that was the only probable window of opportunity, right, Apollo? Oh.
Mr. Wright, the defense should do the cross-examination, not the defendant. Mr. Justice, are you prepared?
Yes, Your Honor. I can't believe I'm going up against Mr. Gavin. This trial is going to get weirder and weirder. Okay, so... The little window? You mean the one built on the stairs? Yes, the relic of the ancient past. The black marketeers used it, I believe. Why did you go through the trouble of peeking through the window? Wouldn't it be easier to open the door than go through to the room? I didn't want to upset Wright. Upset Mr. Wright?
Please tell me that Kristoff guy didn't do it.
Babe, this is going to be a lot more weirder.
Why?
How Kristoff saw the whole crime scene.
But did he do it is the question. He did do it, didn't he?
My reason is, this. Is this an ace?
Why, it's got blood on it. Right next to the spade.
What? This is insane! Why wasn't I told about this? Why?
Could this be the missing fifth ace?
It's inconceivable. How could you? What are you doing with that card? Well, that's the thing. Why is Mr. Gavin so upset? It's just a fishy card that some girl... Wait, it's just a fishy card from some fishy girl. I think he's talking about you, babe.
Funny.
Oh, that card? It's mine. That is, I picked it up at a Postcard Bull Club that night after the murder had occurred. I gave it to my daughter. Other cards are her stock and trade, after all. Objection! No! Impossible! Unacceptable! Unacceptable! Ow! The court can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud! A fraud? How can you be so sure? What? I would think the only person who could have claimed it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card from the crime scene, the real killer. Allow me to elaborate. What if this trace of blood was the reason? The reason for the killer to take the card of the scene of the crime?
Where are you going with this?
Take another look at the photo and at the victim's head. At that moment of crime, his hat fell on the floor, and a trickle of blood ran on his forehead down to the back of his head. Couldn't a drop of that blood have fallen on one of the cards? I suppose. The killer then took the card and hid the blood. Objection! Regardless, that evidence is not permissible. Oh? Right? Regardless of how you wasted the last 7 years, you used to be a lawyer. You know what a serious crime is to conceal evidence. Oh, we could discuss a finer point on our legal system later. What's important now is that I've answered your question. What are you talking about? You wanted to know why the killer have taken the card at the scene of the crime. And now, I've told you. That one drop of blood would have been decisive evidence you see. This is baseless! Conjecture! Baseless! Objection! Oh, I assure you, it's quite based. What? It's amazing, really, how a single drop of blood on a single card can lead us to the truth. It's quite simple. Well, Apollo? Yes, sir? Try and picture the scene of the crime. Okay. Try a picture of the scene in your head. Whoa, this is gone 3D. So the murder took place in your hideout. The blood was luckless victim that fell into proof again. And before the killer swept the card out, there was a single drop of blood over the victim's head. Given this, there is one decisive problem with the scene. Well, what is it? Let's keep it simple, shall we? Given that there was a drop of blood over the car, whose position does it fit? The victim's? The killer? So whose position does it? So it must have been the victim. Well, is this the victim's position? Is that the problem? I don't follow your logic, Mr. Jones. Well, look at the... And then the back of his chair. Would you think that fall behind the body, not onto the table in the front of him? Take a look at this photo again. When he was bled in this position, the blood on the floor... The blood would fall on the floor, not on the cars. Why, that's right. What does this mean? Incidentally, they were sitting in swivel chairs. Swivel chairs? Oh man. Apollo, try turning the chair around. The chair was facing the other way. That would be... So, we have to assume that the victim's chair was facing from the table. When Mr. Wright returned from informing the police, which way was the chair facing? When I came back from the room, the body was facing as seen in the photo. That would mean the killer turned the chair back around. Let's take a next step. Let's look at the diagram once more. We know that the victim... But... this creates a significant contradiction. Again? Let's testify again this skill again, shall we? Apollo. Whose location in the diagram contradicts a new understanding of crime? Wait, doesn't it make... You mean to... Oh, no. So... Okay, so...
What did you do?
I was trying to figure it out. Okay, so... So it must be the... If the victim was struggling with sitting shown here, where else is... So... Okay, so close. It's simple logically. If there's only a place that Kirito would have been standing, then that means that... Wait, I know. It's the moment of crime to the cupboard, wasn't there? Well, you do belong in the courtroom after all, Mr. Right? I did my best. Okay, so the cup holder would be turned. So that means it contradicts Mr. Gavin's testimony. So it must be number 2. About this cupboard. Are we okay with assuming that it was moved? Sure, why not? Well, if it was, something really doesn't fit. The cupboard would be the window of the stairs. Huh? That's right, someone standing outside wouldn't be able to see in. Someone like Mr. Gavin! What did you say? Oh, is the coolest defense in the West losing its cool? Don't expect me to play along with your little game right. It's only the game until someone gets killed, Mr. Gavin. And someone was window to that room was blocked by the cupboard.
So, Mr. Gavin, perhaps you'd like to explain to the court. Exactly where did you witness the crime scene from?
Excuse me, Your Honor. Order! This is a court of law, and I have an order. We just received word from our investigation team at the Bushcock Bull Club. We have examined the cupboard at the hideout, Your Honor. Oh? And what did they find? Well, Your Honor, it turns out there was a secret passage behind it. What?
Ah, yes. I believe I mentioned something of the sort before. This is one of the tricks to the room many of our regulars know about. I do remember him saying something like that. Now that he mentions it, a secret passage is a handy thing to have when you're engaging in illegal goings-on. Never know when you might need of a duck away from the eyes of the law. So the room was a secret passage? Where does it go? The outer side connects to the restaurant above. The underworld bosses would get away from the cops and enjoy the cold bowl of Frushkan milk, just like our killer. Wow.
What? What? What?
You see where our line of simple deductive reasoning has led us, Apollo? I see, but I don't believe it. That girl wasn't kidding when she said I needed this trump card for the last hand. At that time of the murder, the window was blocking the victim's hat. Was only off of his head for the few minutes between Mr. Smith's murder and Mr. Wright returning and calling the cops. In other words, the only place anyone could have seen the victim's bald head was in front of inside the hideout. Well, Mr. Gavin, come on, say something.
Dare I ask what really happened that night?
Actually, I think I could probably figure it out ourselves at this point. That night, for whatever reason, our killer had a date with Mr. Smith. A date with destiny. There is a crotch hidden in the secret passageway behind the cupboard. Holding his breath, waiting for the right moment. Then, the chance came and he took it.
Why you have to get help?
This aura earlier was out cold, struck by Mr. Smith. But this time, as soon to come, Mr. Wright was upstairs to call the cops, leaving Mr. Shotty Smith alone in the highway with the unconscious dealer. Then our killer stepped out of the secret passage and into the hideout. The victim must have heard a cup voice lighting aside. He wheeled his chair around and whacked his head. After the deed was done, the criminal must have seen the blood on the card. He would have, of course, realized the need to destroy the evidence. The single blood told the whole story of the crime. Too bad for him, he didn't linger any longer in the hideout that night. If he had, he might have noticed the cards on the floor, and the fact that they were all red.
Well, it seems this trial has taken yet another turn. I'm truly sorry I had to see it come to this day, Mr. Gavin.
Mr. Gavin?
Mr. Perry?
Yes, Your Honor?
The prosecution will continue its investigation. As for Mr. Phoenix Wright, the defendant, he is hereby cleared of all suspicion. Believe me when I say that I don't believe this is happening, Mr. Gavin. But I'm afraid circumstances called for me to issue a warrant for your arrest immediately.
Objection. Oh, no need for apologize. I rather enjoyed it myself. It's not every day you get to witness a legendary attorney's dirty tactics firsthand. Your point, Mr. Gavin? Frankly, Your Honor, I'm shocked. That person of yours, of your caliber, would have been taken in by such a low-grade flyer trick.
Excuse me?
The defense is cleared of all suspicion. This hardly is the time for jokes, Your Honor. Mr. Wright hasn't proved anyone's guilty or innocent here. What he has done in using illegal evidence to put a blame on someone else. And not just anyone else, but me, his own defense attorney.
Illegal evidence?
Objection! Let me ask you, Mr. Gavin. There is still any reason at present to suspect me of wrongdoing? Of course, this bottle, for instance. The bottle of the grape juice Mr. Wright was drinking? How do you intend to explain away that the fingerprints on the murder weapon? And not just any fingerprints, am I right, Mr. Payne? Actually, yes! The fingerprints on the bottle were upside down. I seem to recall being an issue earlier. The
court, in this case, demand an explanation. I can think of only one reason why one would hold a bottle upside down, and that is to hit someone with the bottle of the bottle. Well, Your Honor? See how you caught fish squirming to the lab. Well, Apollo? Yes? Your boss seemed awfully concerned about the bottle still. But you can come to the voice information just like that. Yeah. Just like what? Why would anyone grab the... Well, don't let it trick you into thinking the explanation is only a legitimate one. Is there another? Take a look at the court record. I believe you found a simple answer in this plain sight. Oh, wait a minute. It's the photos. Don't worry. Alright. I think I know. It's the evidence. It was this one. It's exactly easier to show you than explain, Your Honor. Placing a bottle on the floor next to your chair.
Excuse me? Oh, the floor?
Yes, now reach down to pick it up without getting out of your chair. See? You're naturally going to pick it up with the bottle of its neck. With your fingers upside down. Look at this photograph taken the night of the murder. The defendant, Mr. Wright, sat here, playing piano, bottles of grape juice on the floor to the side of the piano bench. He would have naturally picked up the bottles upside down several times.
Wow, I can't believe it was that simple.
Recall our dinner that evening, Christoph. I was drinking my usual juice then too. Hastily, you used bottle on the table, bottle to do the deed. But then you must have remembered. So you went to pick up one of the bottles from under the piano, and you switched the bottle. You took one of Mr. Wright's bottles that made it look like the murder weapon.
Order! What do you have to say to these charges, Mr. Gavin?
Fascinating. So this is the legendary attorney's famed tactic of misdirection. What? You claimed I switched the bottle. Where is your proof? Proof? Well, that's, as I thought, more baseless conjecture. I'm afraid your bottle of proof is quite empty. Objection! I wouldn't be so sure about that. Your Honor, when you initiate the investigation of a hideout earlier, do you recall I requested the additional evidence?
Oh yes, I have in the memo about that here. Retrieve the bottles from under the piano of that First Cup Bowl Club. And here is one of the bottles in question.
Wasn't you going to do that for fingerprints too? I wouldn't be surprised if any were on them, but it is. This Gab is probably going to make such a novice mistake through. That bottle wouldn't bear a trace of anything. Say, Apollo. Yes? Why did you go ahead and examine that bottle? But why? Just humor me. Mr. Wright, that bottle will solve this case once and for all. What? That's some bottle. Hit and examine. There's something inside the bottle.
A card!
Boop. The fifth?
Ew.
What is this? That card. It can't be. Recall the unpleasant woman's testimony for a moment. Miss Olga Orley? Yes, our little sweetie Drishvoshka.
That night I planted the card like I was supposed to. And Wright lost the last hand just like he was supposed to. Then Smith searched him. But the plant card was gone. The trap failed.
Wait, isn't this... You're telling me that this is a planted card you dispose of? The one you mentioned in this piece of testimony. I happened to put it in my hand in my pocket, and I found the card. Yes, I snuck a peek at it and found it. It was the 5th of hearts. I had a feeling something might happen, so I disposed of the card before the game.
Dispose? Where?
There was an empty bottle of a grape juice I'd been drinking right beside me. I threw the card inside the bottle. The 5 of hearts. This is the card. The bottle was swapped. And the only one who could have done that, the 4th person in the club that night. You, Christoph Gavin.
No!
Oh, he's gone Super Saiyan. He's gonna do it. He's gonna do it.
What? Oh. What?
That is all.
Case solved, folks! Case solved, folks! Case solved, folks!
Is this your idea of revenge, Phoenix Wright?
Revenge?
Revenge for the events that took away your attorney's badge 7 years ago? My past is like my logic, straight and true. Nothing's changed. All I did is point the finger of justice to the proper direction. Fine. I'm glad we could have it tete right? This is insane! What about me? Don't I get to prosecute anyone?
I believe this time we finally come to the end of our trial. Mr. Payne, do you have the report for us on Christoph Gavin?
He's admitted everything. We're proceeding his arrest now.
I see. Still, one has wondered why he would do such a thing. He didn't even have a connection to the victim, did he?
None that we know of.
Mr. Wright, have you had anything to add?
I'm afraid I can't shed any more light on that matter.
About this victim, Mr. Shoddy Smith. His occupation was listed as traveler. An odd profession, to be sure. That's all we know about him.
I'll arrange a follow-up investigation, Your Honor.
Good, Miss Wright.
Yes?
7 years ago, and you still have a lot to touch.
Christoph Gavin was a man with much significance for me, both as a friend and as a lawyer.
He was extremely talented, to be sure.
I needed 2 things before I could confront him. The first was the place where no injustice could be tolerated, this courtroom. The second was a man who would tolerate no injustice. In other words, a defense attorney. You, Apollo. Me? A dark times is coming for our legal system. A twisted of justice brought on by our own court system. We have to set it right. Mr. Wright, our work lies ahead of us, and I, for one,
am looking forward to it.
Very well. This seems like to be a good time to announce the verdict. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Phoenix Wright, not guilty. Court is now adjourned.
That's all, folks. That's all. April 20th, 8:24 p.m. District Court Defendant Lobby Number 3.
Thanks, Apollo. You came through just like I thought you would. I'm pretty sure I didn't do anything in there. It was you who cornered Mr. Gap, the killer. I could have done it by myself. You sent it too today, didn't you? Your ability? Ability? Yes. The sensationally I lack, you'll come to understand it soon enough. Wait, I wonder what it means. I have one question for the witness then. You say you saw the moment of... Stop it. You said that you saw the moment that the defendant hit the victim. Is this true?
Of course it's true.
What is this weird vibe I'm getting? Am I getting high? What?
You are not getting high. Stop it.
It's for Apollo, babe. You'll have to find the answers to that question yourself. The answer. Right. Today is full of questions without answers, most of them about Mr. Gavin. What possible reason he could have committed a crime? Perhaps you'll know that in the days to come. Huh? Wait, you don't know, do you? This locket is the key. Huh? Oh, that reminds me. I met the girl whose picture is in your locket. Your daughter, right? That's right, she's my daughter. You know, you were right about this locket. I took this off his neck the night he died, but it looks like our dear Russian scam artist saw me. So the truth is, this luggage really did belong to him. Wait, but that's perjury! You testified. You said that locket was yours! I said no such thing, actually. I merely said that was a locket with my daughter's picture inside. Touché. I'm so tired of distinction, but a distinction nonetheless. And it's the truth. Wait, but then why?
Why?
Why was the victim wearing the locket with the picture of your daughter inside it? Sometimes the straightest path to the truth isn't the best one. Give it time. You're still just getting started with your career. Speaking of which, I may be out of the job. I work with Gavin Law Office after all. I still can't believe I saw Mr. Gavin get led away in handcuffs. Apollo. Yes? How about come working for me? You mean at the Wright and Cole Law Office? I mean, there's not a single attorney in my generation that doesn't know it. I can imagine it be true, but... Wait, but did you... You're not a... Oh, I turned in my badge, yes. I'm not an attorney anymore. That incident 7 years ago. That legendary trial. And that in the middle of it was one man, Phoenix Wright. The case reached a sad conclusion, and he left law for good. Have you ever thought about coming back to the courts? I'm not qualified to stand in a court of law, I'm afraid. Didn't you notice in today's trial? There was a single piece of forging evidence. Forged evidence? What are you talking about? I'm talking about the evidence that should have been existing, not the magician's trick. Oh, he means the blood card. Must be this one.
You mean this, don't you? I got this from your daughter, Mr. Wright.
Yeah, that could have been found at the...
That couldn't have been found at the scene of crime.
Why? Because the killer took it with him when he left, leaving the wrong card in its place. Luckily for us.
The card can't accept this evidence. It's a fraud.
A fraud? How can it be so true? I wouldn't think the only person who could claim it was a fraud would be the one who took the real card or the crime scene, the real card. My verdict was already handed down 7 years ago.
Then, you?
Yes, I forged this card. One look at the crime scene should have told you it wasn't real.
But you can't do something like that and call yourself an attorney?
Who's calling themselves an attorney, Apollo?
So, it's true. The rumor is true. 7 years ago?
None of that matters much now, does it? I punched him. It's your story from here on out, Apollo. Perhaps I can help you turn the next page. My office address. Drop in if you like. Mr. Wright. Oh, and do your uppercut. Yes, next time. I find it packs a little more punch. And Apollo, thank you for today. I had a good time. And with that, Mr. Wright walked out of the door. And that's how my first trial ended. A lot of mysteries went unsolved. And at the time, I had no idea they were all related. Every mystery is that If that out soon enough. My name is Apollo Justice, attorney at law, and this is how my story begins.
Well, folks, that's all.
Alright, we're about to stop right here right now. If you guys like this video, be sure to hit the like, comment, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you're new to this. So, without further ado, this is Kirito of the Kirito Studios. Hereby signing out. So later everyone, and we'll see you all in the next video.